For years, big tech operated on a model that seemed almost unstoppable: build a platform, scale users as fast as possible, monetize through ads, subscriptions, or services, and once you reached massive scale, growth and profits would follow. It worked. For a long time, that model defined the success of companies like Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. But in 2026, something fundamental is changing. Big tech isn't just tweaking its strategy, it's rebuilding its entire business model. And the reason is simple: the old model is no longer enough. To understand why, you have to start with saturation. Most of the major tech platforms have already reached massive global scale, billions of users, dominant market positions, deep integration into daily life. That sounds like an advantage, and it is. But it also creates a problem. When you've already captured most of the market, growth becomes harder. There are fewer new users to acquire, fewer untapped regions, fewer obvious expansion opportunities. So the question shifts from, how do we grow fast? To, where does the next phase of growth come from? And that's where the rebuilding begins. Another major pressure is monetization limits. Advertising, one of the biggest revenue drivers for tech, is becoming more constrained. Users are more sensitive to ads. Regulations are tightening around data and tracking, and competition for ad dollars is increasing. So relying heavily on ads is becoming riskier. At the same time, subscription models are maturing. People are already paying for multiple services, and there's a limit to how many subscriptions they're willing to maintain, so that path to growth is also becoming more difficult. This forces big tech to look for new revenue streams, and not just incremental ones, entirely new layers of business. Then there's the cost side of the equation. Running large-scale tech platforms is becoming more expensive, infrastructure costs are rising, cloud computing, data storage, and especially AI require massive investment. Training models, running systems, maintaining global networks, it all adds up. So even if revenue grows, costs are growing too, which puts pressure on margins, and that changes how companies think about their models. Another key factor is competition, not just between tech giants, but from new types of players. Startups, specialized platforms, and even companies outside traditional tech are entering the space. AI, in particular, is lowering barriers. It allows smaller companies to build powerful tools quickly, so big tech can't rely on dominance alone. It has to keep evolving. There's also a shift in user behavior. People are becoming more selective about how they use technology. They're managing screen time, they're questioning value, they're less willing to adopt everything new. So engagement is harder to grow, and when engagement slows, monetization becomes harder too. Another major force is regulation. Governments around the world are paying closer attention to big tech. Antitrust concerns, data privacy rules, platform accountability. All of these create constraints. They limit how companies can operate, expand, and monetize. And that forces structural changes. Because the old model, scale first, figure out the rest later, doesn't work as well under tighter rules. So what are these companies doing? They're moving deeper. Instead of just operating platforms, they're building entire ecosystems: hardware, software, services, infrastructure, all tightly integrated. Because ecosystems create stability, they make it harder for users to leave, and they open up multiple revenue streams. This is why you're seeing more vertical integration, companies designing their own chips, building their own devices, controlling more of the technology stack. Because owning more of the system means capturing more value, AI is also at the center of this rebuilding, not just as a feature, but as a foundation. Tech companies are embedding AI into everything: search, productivity tools, customer interactions, content creation. Because AI changes how products are used and how value is created. It shifts the model from static tools to dynamic systems, and that opens up new ways to monetize. Usage-based pricing, premium AI features, enterprise solutions. All of these are part of the new model. There's also a shift toward enterprise. Consumer markets are saturated, but businesses still represent a large opportunity. So many tech companies are focusing more on B2B services, cloud computing, AI tools, workplace software, because enterprise customers are willing to pay more and stay longer. This creates more stable revenue. Another important change is the focus on efficiency. In the past, growth could justify high costs. Now, profitability matters more. So companies are optimizing operations, reducing waste, automating processes, and becoming more disciplined, because the new model has to work financially, not just strategically. There's also a broader philosophical shift from platforms to systems, from user growth to value extraction, from expansion to optimization. Big tech is no longer just trying to get bigger, it's trying to get smarter, to generate more value from what it already has, and to build structures that can sustain long-term growth. What makes this moment particularly important is that it's happening across the entire industry, not just one company. All of them are adapting, all of them are experimenting, all of them are rebuilding, because they're facing the same reality. The environment has changed, the easy growth is gone, the rules are different. So the models have to evolve, and that's what we're seeing in 2026. A transition from the old era of tech, defined by scale and speed, to a new era, defined by control, efficiency, and deeper integration. Because in today's landscape, success isn't just about building the biggest platform, it's about building the most durable system, and the companies that understand that are the ones reshaping their business models right now.